So we, on the same, probably at that time I was a little bit between 11 to 13 years old. We used to go by the riverside and picking the seasonal fruits.
What?
Seasonal fruits. Fruits.
Fruits.
Fruits.
Fruits and berries.
Don't interrupt him during the
Okay,
story,
well,
okay?
I gotta understand.
I'm taking a video of it, so you'll hear
All
it.
right, okay, thank you.
The fruits. Do you eat apple?
Okay.
Apple. Do you eat apple?
Yes. See.
Yes. So fruits or berries. So we had a river, and we used to go down the river and swim and start the river, and we knew exactly which area it could be dangerous with the crocs, and which area were safe to swim and even cross the river. Not from our self age, but it was generation and generation from our big brothers too. Then we had a species of trees bear fruits in a certain time of the year. We love those fruits. We used to go and pick the fruits from the big trees, climb on our bankside and pick the fruits and go home. But some area with those fruits could be a crocodile zone. So we were detecting the fruits on the side bank where we come from without getting into the water. And once the fruits, maybe 1 week or 2 weeks, we pick the fruits, especially Saturday and Sunday, the days where we didn't go to school. So once the fruits seem to be not much on the side bank, our side bank, so we had a plan to cross the river, even if we knew there could be a crocs. So we use a catapult, the slingshot catapult. So we sit by the river bank, even half an hour, and monitor if there could be any crocs. If you see any floating object, because it was dark water, you throw the stone by catapult. If it doesn't submerge, it's not a croc. And then we made an agreement that, okay, now we go. So we remove all clothes, and then we take a shirt or t-shirt and wrap around the head like a turban, like Indian. And then we count 1, 2, 3, 4. We jump in the water and kicking the water and making noise and swim like 20 meters wide the river and cross. And we did that and picked the fruits and then pack the fruits around the head on a t-shirt, wrap them around the head, and then do the same inspection again the same way and jump in the water and back. And one day we did the same way. We went and we returned back, and then we packed everything, we dressed up nicely. And one of my neighbor was called Fikiri. It was my classmate too. He said, "Oh, I've got a mud on my foot." He said, "Oh," we were 9 of us. We said, "Go back and you can swim. You can clean yourself. Make quick, we leave you behind." He put his foot down. He walked down to the shore of the river. He went like a shallow water, like a 1 foot. He just stepped in the water. He leaned down to clean himself. The croc was there. Jump on his head, pull him in.
Oh no.
Yeah, and he was kicking the water, and then but the head was on the mouth. It was simply easily to be drawn.
Oh yeah.
We couldn't help.
Oh no.
Yeah. So then it was after a few minutes we saw him stop kicking. We knew that it was already.
Oh
Yeah. So then the croc submerged him and went somewhere. Then we ran back home randomly.
How did his mother take it?
Well, we didn't mention. Yes, we were young, so then we were worried that how could we explain, because we were warned not to go by the river many times with our parents. So then, until the early evening or early night, then the truth was there. So we've been called everyone because Fikiri was looked after his mother, and she couldn't find him. Then they just said, okay, let's ask his friends. And then one man, he saw us. We passed by his farm. He was on the farm when we were going down the riverside. He said, I saw you, Seba. They call me Seba, Sebastian, Seba. I saw you, Seba, with the Fikiri, with your friend John and Omari and Ali. So you were going down there. Where he is? Oh, we knew the secret is open. So then the pile of can was there, stick, and tell us. So we started get beaten by big brothers and uncles, and then we mentioned that he was taken by Crocs. That was about 8:30 p.m. dark in the village. So then the old man, the women started crying, and the men started to arrange themselves. Who has a spear? Who has a bow and arrow? And we had two men, including my granddaddy. There's a shotgun because they were on the KR, King's East African Rifle, during the colonial time. They went on the Second World War under British. So then they had those guns for protecting their crops and against So they took those shotguns. They went by the riverside there the whole night long. They couldn't find anything. It was dark. Till next morning, around 10:30 to 11, they shot the Crocs. And the men, they shot two Crocs. Then they start submerged and swimming and diving, go on the river bank, on the root trees, caves. And then they found him. It was just the head, half chest and one arm. All was remained and brought back home. And everything was already eaten.
That's awful.
So then they buried. And then after 3 days, we were collected, all of us. And then I've never been punished in my life. 3 days without coming out, even going to school. Who told you to go to the river and swim and do whatever? Not of myself, the whole team. Yes. So that is my short story and my experience with the crocodile. It was in front of my eyes. I saw him. When I see this National Geographic, or when I see the action when I'm on game drive, the way they attack this wildebeest, it reminds me a lot. Splashing of water when he jumped to strike on the Fikiri.
That must have scarred you for life.
Yeah.
I know.
Horrible.
Yes.